I crushed the Caro-Kann in this game against my National Master opponent. Make sure to pay attention if you want to do the same. I started with pawn to e4. They go for c6, the Caro-Kann, and I go for pawn to d4, taking space in the center with my 2 pawns. They continue with the standard d5, which is set up by the move pawn to c6, taking more central space. They go bishop to f5, one of the most common moves in the Caro-Kann, but here I play the ultra-aggressive move pawn to h4. There is a little trick here that if you go e6, then the bishop gets trapped, just like this. Of course, my opponent is a chess master and did not fall for that trap. Instead, they played pawn to h5, now creating an escape square for the bishop. I continue with bishop to g5, pinning this e6 pawn, and they go for queen to b6, escaping the pin and also attacking b2. Here I continue with bishop to d3, completely ignoring the threat on the b2 pawn. If you guys want to know why they cannot take the b2 pawn, that is a topic for another video which I will be uploading after this one. So instead of hastily taking the pawn, my opponent decides to trade, and then play the solid move e6. I continue with knight to d2, idea being that I want to be able to play pawn to c4 and also meet the move queen takes on b2 with something like rook to b1 where I will win back the b7 pawn. They play c5, striking in the center, and I play c4, an explosive move, counter-attacking. My threat is much stronger than theirs, because if I'm able to take on d5 and they take back, then I will always have this nagging threat of pawn to e6, which is very difficult to meet if the queen cannot capture, and if you have to capture with the pawn, then there will be queen to g6 with a check, forcing the king to move and potentially invading on the king side. But after c4, my opponent gets greedy. They grab the pawn on b2, thinking that they're about to get that 2 for none special, and also going for d4. I'm not bothered, I play the move rook to b1, allow queen takes on d4, and then play this move queen to b3. Engine gives 2 inaccuracies in a row, but black is actually under severe pressure. Black continues to gobble, taking the 3rd pawn in a row with their queen, but also allowing us to gain even more development with the move knight to e2. Listen, when the engine says that it's close to equal and you're down 3 pawns, you know that the person down material has a huge initiative. Just look at all of the pieces that we have developed, and black has only moved their queen. In a blitz game, that means all the fun for white. They continue to move the queen with queen to c7, trying to defend the b7 pawn so that after I would capture it, they would be able to recapture and not lose a rook. This, however, is a mistake, as it allows us to start chopping down the center. When you're up so much in development like we are, you want to break down the center so we can get to the black king. They play f6. The reason is that they were uncomfortable with capturing this pawn here, as I would be able to just castle and put my rook in the center. And with moves like knight to f4, knight takes on d5, this looks like a horrible position to defend for black. So instead of recapturing, they play pawn to f6, attacking my bishop and expecting me to have to move it back. What they want is for me to play a move like bishop to f4, they play e5, kick my bishop away, and then play bishop to d6. Here black would likely be out of the woods. But try to find the move that I played and the absolute best move for white in this position. Of course, it was revealed in the thumbnail, if you were paying attention. And that move is knight to f4, given double exclam by the chess.com engine. If the bishop is captured on g4, there is knight takes on e6. And after the queen has to move away somewhere, let's say queen to c8, trying to maintain the defense of this pawn here, we can simply castle the king and look to activate our rooks, and black is totally paralyzed with all of the pieces on the back rank. They didn't like the look of this. But at the same time, they simply didn't see anything better. So black did in fact decide to take the bishop here, and after knight takes on e6, they went for queen to e5 check, looking to gain a tempo and get some development in. But seriously, at this point it's move 15 and black has only moved their queen. This cannot be good, even if we are down 4 points of material. I play king d1, which is a move that I like a lot. The reason is now that the rook can come to e1, with an x-ray on the queen and the king. For the first time in the whole game, black tries to develop a piece with knight to e7, but we immediately run in with queen takes on b7, now attacking the rook here, which looks like it cannot be defended. Black, however, thought that you could defend the rook with the move queen takes on d5, but this is no good, as we have the finishing blow knight to c7 with a check, winning the queen and winning the game. I hope you guys found this line in the Tal variation interesting. Try it in your own games, see if it gets you some good results, And as always, I'll see you in another video. Bye!